I am not a full-time artist. I actually have another 9-to-5 tech career that I do day to day. Let me tell you how I manage both my full-time career along with my art business. If you're new here, my name is Emily Winslow, and I started my art business in the summer of 2021, so I have been juggling both my art business and my full-time career for over 3 years now. It's gone in phases of sometimes it's easier than other times, but I wanted to address some main points that I have found helpful when managing both of these careers. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 main points: career flexibility, organization, motivation, and sacrifice. And hopefully I can help you on your journey to not be afraid to start a small business if you currently have a career, or to keep going if you have already started one, and give you some encouragement. So these 4 main points are things that have helped me in my journey, so I hope that I can help you at least with 1 or 2 of the points. They may not all be applicable to you, but my hope is that you at least walk away with a piece of advice in your own journey. So let's first talk about career flexibility. I'm going to talk a little bit about my background in my own career and how it's allowed me to have the flexibility to start and run my own small business. So I work for a tech company that I started at right after I graduated from college in 2019. I'm now at the 5-year mark of being in my job, and it's kind of crazy to me. Sometimes I still feel like I just graduated, but I'm really at that point now where I feel comfortable in my job. I don't feel like I'm constantly having to ramp up or learn how to do things. I feel pretty confident in my workflow, which has really helped me in being able to work efficiently. So I'm a learning experience designer for this tech company, and which means I design learning content for our customers that helps them learn how to use the product that we make. And in this position, I am fully remote, so I don't have to commute into work. I basically just wake up in my house and go to another room to work on my laptop for my 9-to-5 job. And I have found it so helpful when it came to being able to start my art business. Since I don't have to commute into work, I'm able to use that time that I would have had to drive into work or spend getting ready, and I can use that to do art in the morning. And then also my lunch breaks is another time where I'm using that to further my art business. And then again, after work when I would be commuting home from work. So that is a total of like, I don't know, 3 extra hours that I probably have since I don't have to go into work. And I've been able to use that extra 3 hours to put into my business. And yes, I still do work into the evenings sometimes, but I do feel like I have a pretty good work-life balance of being able to, use those evenings to make dinner or spend time with my husband after work. So if you do have an office job or somewhere where you have to commute, I still encourage you to just start your small business, but just be patient. You may have to just work those extra hours that you get home from work, or use the time on weekends to further your business. So all this to say, I'm just really thankful for the tech career that I have and the flexibility that comes with it, but it still does take a lot of discipline to get up early or stay up late, and using your time wisely, which brings me into my next point. Let's talk about organization. I cannot stress this one enough, and unfortunately I still struggle with it, but it's crucial to stay organized when you are running a small business, and on top of that, having a career. And staying organized is a lot easier said than done. I have tried a lot of different organization tools such as Trello, Google Tasks, Monday.com, just jumbling things in my head and trying to remember it that way. Don't do that. A physical calendar. I'm going to tell you what my favorite tool is, but this is something that you just have to try out on your own because everybody has a different opinion on this. My opinions have changed. I've, used certain things that have kind of stopped working, and I've had to shift how I stay organized. So I use Monday.com for a lot of my day-to-day tasks, and I like it because it has different boards that you can then put smaller tasks into. So for example, I have like a YouTube board, and then I can put a task like film, edit, post. And then it just helps me stay really organized with my littler tasks that I need to do. And then I like to use Google Calendar for my bigger events. So things like a live wedding painting, art fair that I have to go to. And I like that because I then, use it for my personal stuff as well. And I can see, oh, I shouldn't book a friend hangout this weekend because I have a live wedding painting. So it helps me stay organized with those bigger events and not accidentally book something over another. So going back to Monday.com, I'll also create a board for the week ahead. and that will allow me to put everything that I want to accomplish into that board. So I'll work on it. I'll create this board on Sunday and just put in there just my laundry list of things I need to get done. And that just really helps keep me on track and look ahead on what I need to do. So again, this is something that you'll need to test out for yourself and figure out what you like using best. For Monday.com, I am on the free plan. I think there's a premium one, but I find that the free version is just fine for me. Just try out the different options. And again, this is one of the most important things to be successful in your career and small business, is to just making sure that you're staying on top of everything. Let's talk about motivation and how important that is to not only start your small business, but to keep it going. For me, juggling a career with art has not always been easy, no matter how easy it may look on social media to others. But the fact is, even a small business without a career is difficult, so having the combination of them both is even more difficult. So I think one of the most important things when it comes to keeping your small business going and continuing to grow and thrive it is to go back to your motivation and why you started your small business and why you want to keep it going. So for me, one of the whys behind my art is I just love to create beautiful things that will live in people's homes and bring them joy and peace each day. I'm a Christian, and I just see so much of the beauty in God's creation all around us, and my goal is to capture that, put that on a canvas, and for that to just bring a piece of light into homes all around. So yes, sometimes it can just become really busy, but when I go back to my why, it just gives me that motivation to keep going. And it's just a fact that when you do have a small business, there's going to be a time when you're discouraged and you just don't really want to keep going. And there's just a point that you have to decide to either quit or to go back to your why and continue running the race. So I would encourage you to find ways that bring you back to your why or bring you back to that motivation that made you start your small business. So for example, I've gotten like notes from my customers that say how my art has impacted them or how it's brought so much joy to their home, and I just keep those handy so I can just go back and read them if I'm a little bit down or discouraged for some reason. And it really just, motivates me to keep it going and to continue creating the beautiful art that I love to create. So lastly, let's talk about sacrifice. This is something that any small business owner is going to have to go through. Really, just anyone in the world is going to need to sacrifice some time. And really what I mean by sacrifice is you becoming content in certain things and being really intentional with the time that you have. So as an artist who also works full-time, I've had to sacrifice a good amount of my weekends during the year. There is some times where that's really hard, and I don't want to sacrifice my weekends because I want to use that to just hang out, rest, maybe hang out with friends. So I'm not saying to fill up your time so that you have no extra time for yourself, but it is really important to be very intentional. So I do have certain weekends that I block out that I cannot have an art event or live wedding painting because that's the weekend I'm going to hang out with my husband or friends or family. But there's a point in time where you do need to sacrifice some weekends because, especially during the summer for me, those are busy art months because that's when a lot of weddings are or when a lot of the art fairs are. I do spend, a good amount of my weekends working for my art business. But I've worked a lot on my contentness and being okay with, giving up a Saturday here and there to then, maybe rest more on that Sunday or take a Friday off if I need to. Going back to what I was saying, as an artist, I've had to use a lot of my Saturdays for art fairs or live wedding paintings. Part of being a small business owner is you're going to have to give up some of your free time. And something that's really important to me is I don't want to harm my relationships by being too busy. So that means being really intentional with my time. So sometimes I will schedule, hangouts with my friends months in advance, just so I have that weekend blocked. So there's different ways to protect your time. I think it's been a journey and I still struggle with that a little bit, but sacrificing some of your time now may result in you furthering your small business in the future. So I hope these 4 main points help you with juggling your small business with another job. or career and give you a little bit of encouragement and motivation to just keep going if you've already started, or to just give it a shot if you haven't yet. I'm just so thankful to my husband, who has been my biggest support through this, and for everyone who's been really encouraging to me. I really want to pass that on and help other small businesses thrive. So I could talk so much more about this or answer more questions. If you have any thoughts on this, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to talk with you more about it. You can always find me on social media at Watercolor with Emily. Go ahead and reach out to me in my DMs. Again, if you have any other questions about this. And I really hope that this video was helpful to you. I'll see you next time. I love you.
You're not using your TV? Oh, I'm on camera.
Bye.